Hello once again and welcome to another edition of my Weekly Bond. This week we're going to be looking at the god-awful piece of shit Pierce Brosnan Bond film. Oh, sorry, did I say god-awful piece of shit? I meant the fourth Pierce Brosnan Bond film, Die Another Day. And so this jaunty romp begins, as many other Bond films do, with the classic gun barrel Christ! So after that startle, the film probably begins with Bond surfing into a North Korean military base posing as someone else, where he sees a Colonel Moon, played by William Lee, illegally trading African conflict diamonds for weaponry. Moon's henchman Zhao, played by Rick Yoon, is tipped off by an unknown source that Bond is a British agent and shit kicks off. Sorry, has anyone told that guy that there's shit going off? I mean, he's just stood there. What, did he not hear or see that explosion? Anyway, action breaks out, Zhao has diamonds blown in his face, and we have a rather exciting and well-choreographed chase sequence involving hovercrafts, all culminating with Colonel Moon flying down a waterfall to his death in the most obvious model shot in a Bond film since Jaws going off the waterfall in Moonraker. Colonel Moon Sr. turns up and imprisons Bond and tortures him with ice, fire, scorpions, and Madonna.
I'm gonna wake up, yes and no, I'm gonna kiss some part of...
Okay, but maybe that's not fair enough. Okay, I used to consider the Madonna song in this film absolute ear rape, but it has slowly grown on me. I mean, it's taken nearly 10 years for it to grow on me, and I still don't consider it a good song, really. I'm not even sure if I consider it an average song, but I just don't think it's as offensively bad as I used to. Another Way to Die has taken over that prestigious honour, but more on that in a few weeks. After 14 months in captivity, Bond is taken to this bridge, and is pretty sure he's been taken there to die. But no, Bond isn't going to die, no, instead he's being traded for Zhao, who still has diamonds embedded in his face. You'd think someone would have removed those precious artifacts after 14 months. But anyway, Bond is taken to meet M, who is her usual cheery self.
If I'd had my way, you'd still be in North Korea.
Lovely woman. Bond escapes, of course, and makes his way to Hong Kong, where we have one of the more humorous moments of the film before Bond gets cleaned up and learns from his contact, Mr. Chang, that Zhao is in Cuba. Bond, eager to find out who it was that betrayed him in North Korea, heads to Cuba to find Zhao, and it's here that we meet this film's Bond girl, Jinx, played by Halle Berry. You know, it's funny, Halle Berry coming out of the water just isn't a patch on Ursula Andress, which is really odd. I mean, Halle Berry is sexy as hell, but it's just like they're trying too hard to make the moment when she comes out of the water here special. They use slow-mo, the music gets all soppy and beautiful and whatever. It just comes off as really gimmicky, and it's too obvious a reference to Dr. No. In fact, let's look at the scenes together. See, for me, there's just really no competition. Anyway, after a pretty awkward sex scene, Bond follows Jinx to a gene therapy clinic, where she kills one of the doctors. But don't worry, it's fine, it's okay, honestly. He's an evil doctor because he kills orphans and is obsessed with money, and the film states this in such simplistic, black and white terms. I'm so grateful for it to do that, because as an audience member, I find subtlety, incredibly difficult to comprehend. Bond, meanwhile, anyway, discovers that Zhao is there having his appearance altered through DNA restructuring, and he still has those damn diamonds in his face. As if that doctor guy who was obsessed with money wouldn't have had those things out as soon as Zhao turned up in the first place. Anyway, fighty, action. Bond accidentally grabs some diamonds that are hanging around Zhao's neck. Halle Berry dives off a cliff, and Bond learns from his contact in Havana that the diamonds bear the crest of the company of British billionaire Gustav Graves. So Bond heads to London to investigate.
Your drink, sir.
Lucky I asked for a shake.
That's Roger Moore's daughter there, cameoing as the air stewardess. Anyway, it's here that we cut to... Wait a minute. Is this the Clash? It is. Oh. Okay. Well, at least it's not California Girls. You know, it's here we meet our main villain, Gustav Graves, played by Toby Stephens. Graves' entrance into the film suggests that he's a Roger Moore fan, and it's also here that we meet Miranda Frost, played by the ever-brilliant Rosamund Pike, who really is something of a shining beacon of light in this film's supporting cast. Anyway, our next scene finds us at a fencing club where Bond meets Verity, played by... Oh my god! Bond is introduced to Gustav Graves, and they have a bit of verbal sparring before a fight kicks off and all hell breaks loose. What? That's enough? Oh yeah, because everything they've done up to this point has been perfectly reasonable. Despite nearly killing each other, Graves invites Bond to Iceland for some scientific demonstration when Bond is handed a mysterious letter and told to head to some abandoned tube station where he meets M, who restores Bond's 00 status, because he's useful again, apparently. Anyway, we then get a scene which shocked the shit out of me when I first saw it in the cinema, and I stand by it as probably the most exciting sequence in the film, especially for a first-time viewer. Of course, it's not real, no, it's just John Cleese pissing about. And so we meet our new Q in the form of John Cleese, who, well, in my opinion at least, fills in the role of Q nicely, but of course no one can ever truly replace Desmond Llewellyn. We do have one of the more amusing moments of the film here, however...
Your new transportation. Maybe you've been down here too long.
As Bond is introduced to his new Aston Martin Vanquish. I didn't think it was possible to become actually sexually attracted to a car, but boy does that car look good. So yeah, Bond heads to Iceland to Graves' ice hotel where he meets Halle Berry, who gets all catty with Miranda.
I take it Mr. Bond's been explaining his Big Bang Theory.
Oh, yeah, I think I got the thrust of it.
I see.
Now, ladies, there's more than enough Bond for everyone. Zao turns up and has a weirdly homoerotic scene with Graves. I mean, seriously, look how close they get. Anyway, turns out Graves is actually Colonel Moon from the start of the film, and he had DNA restructuring to look like Toby Stephens. Shocking.
Positively shocking.
It's at a party that night that Graves chooses to show off his latest toy, a mirror satellite called Icarus, which is able to focus the sun's energy on a small area and provide year-round sunshine for crop development.
Let there be light.
See, cool people don't need sunglasses.
Icarus is unique. Its miraculous silver skin
My eyes!
sun's light and breathe it gently
My eyes!
You have
Bond is suitably concerned by this and does some snooping later on. He is about to get caught when Miranda starts snogging him, and the guards leave them alone. Because, as we all know, snogging does indeed prove innocence. Anyway, they go back to Bond's room and bang while Halle Berry breaks into Graves' command center, or whatever it is, and... well, stuff happens. Oh yeah, there's a really subtle reference to Goldfinger around this part of the film, but you do have to look so close to see it. You might not spot it otherwise. Anyway, Bond finds out Graves is actually Moon, and Miranda is revealed to be a baddie. Shocking.
Positively shocking.
Bond escapes and gets away in Graves' speedy thing, while our villain uses the Icarus satellite to pursue our hero. Wow, Bond sure is in a pickle here. I wonder how the hell he's going to get out of this situation. Words mean nothing. Halle Berry, yes, Halle Berry gets locked in the ice hotel and Graves and Miranda take off and start melting the ice baths with Icarus. Meanwhile, we have a pretty cool and well put together car chase featuring Zao and Bond, which includes one of the better moments of the film that plays nicely on the eject seat gag from Goldfinger. I genuinely think the car chase is a cool and exciting sequence, and I think it's probably the finest action sequence in the film. Probably even the finest sequence in the film. Anyway, Zao is killed by a chandelier, and Jinx is, of course, rescued. Oh, how I do hate it when a Halle Berry gets on my windscreen. Bond and Jinx then head to some military base in Korea and meet with Robinson and M. What, M? Out in the field again? Good grief, this is not a death wish or something. I mean, I could buy her being out of the office for the world is not enough because she had family ties with Electra, but why the hell is she here now? She shouldn't be out in the field. She should be behind some desk in London. She's the head of the British Secret Service, for goodness sake. She could get burnt to a crisp by some sun-enhancing satellite in Korea. What the hell is she doing there? We also meet Jinx's boss here too, Falco, played by Michael Madsen. Quite possibly the most inappropriate bit of casting of any Bond film. I mean, Michael Madsen's a good actor, project depending, you know, but here he just feels so out of place, and this is something I blame on the director, because Michael Madsen is kind of, like I say, he's a good actor, but he's very sort of standard action, generic Hollywood bollocks shit casting. Well, actually, maybe that makes him really appropriate for this film, because that's how Die Another Day is feeling at the moment. Having seen XXX2 next and Along Came a Spider, I feel I'm in a strong position to say that I can really blame this on the director. So Bond and Jinx get on Graves' plane, where Graves has transformed himself into some Robocop Terminator hybrid. Only not cool at all.
제가 누군지 모르시겠습니까?
I don't know you.
You've always found it difficult to accept me. That made my exile easier to bear.
Okay, so yeah, I guess this is an attempt to give the film, I don't know, emotional depth or something, but it's so misguided and stupid. I mean, what's the point? It's just talking. Graves kills his dad, sure, but what purpose does this serve? Are we supposed to sympathize with someone here? Is it purely to ensure us that not all Koreans want to destroy the West? Is it to make us think Graves has gone totally bad because he's killed his own dad? But ultimately, who the fuck cares? Where the hell is Bond? Though I must admit, Kenneth Sang, who plays Colonel Moon, does probably give the best performance of the film. Anyway, let's power on to the anti-climax, shall we? Bond and Graves fight, with Graves using his Sith powers, while Miranda and Jinx have a fight elsewhere. But yeah, cut to the chase, the good guys win, complete with cheesy one-liners.
Ha! I can read your every move. Read this.
Time to face gravity!
And so the day is saved and the satellite is turned off. and is presumably recovered or something. I mean, there are a lot of diamonds in it, I assume it's very expensive. I still can't believe that for all its stupidity, this film doesn't have the satellite exploding in a wave of diamonds in outer space. I mean, if you're going to make a shit Bond film, at least ramp up the camp. Anyway, the film ends with Moneypenny getting off with the digital Bond, and Halle Berry getting off with the real Bond, and cue credits. Die Another Day was released in 2002, the 40th anniversary of the Bond film series. This film, boys and girls, was the commemoration of 40 years of Bond, and that's just baffling! Like, this is the movie the filmmakers thought we wanted as a 40th anniversary commemoration, and I just can't comprehend that. I mean, it's clear what they're doing. They're looking at Goldfinger and Thunderball and saying, yep, people love that, so we'll give them another one. Well, another one of those may not necessarily work in this day and age, and they really overdo the anniversary aspect by barraging us constantly with references to previous films in the series, and they just hit you over the head with it so much and so hard, it's a bit difficult to enjoy them on any level. Toby Stephens is a good actor and everything, but here he's just so bad. I mean, really hammy and pushing his sliminess to the nth degree. It's like he needs a mustache to be twiddling or something to be complete. I blame the director for this, though, not Stephens. He was clearly told to go overboard with it, and well, it just doesn't work. Halle Berry is a good actress, and she's alright here, as is Rick Hume. Kenneth Sang is great in his small role, and I really wish they'd given Rosamund Pike a bit more to do as Miranda, because I just love that woman. Brosnan and the MI6 regulars all do their usual shtick and do it well, but it's a real shame that after 3 great films, Brosnan's tenure as Bond ends with this. But then, hey, when has any Bond actor ever had a last film that ranked among their best? So, other positives! Peter Lamont's set design is very nice, David Allen's music score is great, as always, and the second unit action stuff is good, probably because it wasn't shot by Tamahori. And for the negatives, Lee Tamahori is a shit director, while at the same time being something of a textbook case of how to direct a very standard, very boring, very Hollywood action film. Triple X2 was a perfect film for him to direct, but he should never be allowed within reach of a Bond project again, and I'm quite astounded they let him direct this, really. The film's just full of bits of crap, like Bond stopping his own heartbeat with his mind, Graves' dream machine thing that serves absolutely no purpose at all, Miranda turning out to be a baddie is practically signposted from the first moment she's on screen, Bond and Jinx run as fast as a plane during takeoff, the use of London Calling, the dodgy CGI, Madonna, Mr. Kill, and why the hell would Mr. Chang have a secret camera in a closet in Bond's hotel room? What if Bond went into the closet to get a towel? What if he wanted a shower robe? What would Mr. Chang have said to that? But of course, the unaddressed elephant in the room here is the invisible car. Why is it unaddressed? Well, because I don't really mind it. I mean, yeah, it's stupid and it makes no sense, but it's kind of fun, right? No? Just me? Well, okay, yeah, anyway, this film sucks. It's watchable, of course, just like any Bond film is, but it just sucks more than most of the others. It's trying to appeal to the XXX Vin Diesel crowd, and it just fails dramatically. It loses its Bond identity and doesn't even feel much like a Bond film, to be perfectly honest. Which is why we should be very thankful that the next film in the series served as a total reboot, and a bloody good one at that. So join us next time for 2006's Casino Royale.